everyone, welcome to another Let's Paint with Jay. As always, my name is Jay, and let's paint. So grab your paints, grab your brushes. Let's just paint together. You know, it's gonna be fun. Orctober is continuing. I'm painting more. As you'll be able to see, the grots from last week are off the table because they're all finished, and they're now, you know, in the battle report room, ready for a battle report. Other than the run herder, I gotta paint him up. But things are going well. I don't think I'm gonna make my 1,000-point goal this month, but we'll see. And let's get painting. So we're back. I just switched the camera. That way it's not like too, you know, motiony, sicknessy. So today I'm painting some Ork Nobs. It's gonna be fun. Painting a knob squad, as well as just a couple, like another knob that I found that I'm painting up for my my collection. So yeah, things are good. My Orctober painting challenge is coming along well. As I said, will I make the 1,000 points? We'll see. I'm gonna come close, probably. I just don't know if I'll be able to finish. I'm a little bit behind where I was trying to be this month because just, you know, you set your goals, but then unexpected things happen, and yeah. This week I'm a bit behind in videos as well. The Warp I am 1 full day behind, and I think I'm 1 or 2 days behind in my free content. So this video might actually come out before the battle reports. I'm probably gonna put it out tonight, Thursday night. It's the day I typically paint. And then afterwards, a battle report may come out. We'll see. If I'm going to try to film one tonight, maybe. A J versus J battle report. Yeah, the J versus J battle reports are coming along. You know what? I really enjoy doing them because I like playing. I make mistakes, obviously. People are well aware of that. I made a few mistakes the other day. I was a bit tired when I filmed, and I think I made a couple careless mistakes, but it happens. I don't think anything that would have really affected the game too much. But, you know, it happens. We all make mistakes, you know. But obviously my goal is still to find real opponents. And they're not easy to come upon these days. I put up a post today on my local gaming club, so hopefully that'll work. And I'm talking to some people. I've been going to the local club every Monday now, last week or so, a couple weeks. And, I think I found a couple opponents. Their armies aren't necessarily painted, but I figure you people would like a real opponent more than 2 painted armies played by Jay. So, you know, that'll be good. Right now I'm using Mornfang Brown. Unfortunately, yeah, as I said, most of them play with painted armies, and a couple of the painted armies were kind of weird, to be honest. You know, there's this one interesting player. I'm not going to drop any names or anything, but I went there the other day on Monday, and he was playing Tau, which is, you know, cool. If you want to play Tau, play Tau. I do find Tau to be a little bit, you know, boring of an army sometimes with the typical strategy that people employ. But that's a different story. We'll talk about that in a different game, in a different video. I mean, sorry, back on track. He had painted Tau, which is good. You know, painted army, nice. Except they were a little bit odd. The Tau vehicles were all covered in swastikas, which is just, to me, is an odd thing for Tau vehicles to be covered in. And I asked him about it. You know, I noticed it pretty quickly, and I said, are those swastikas on your Tau? And he was trying to like be defensive and everything, saying, you know, it's a symbol and it's been a long time since World War II, and, you know, to each his own on that. I don't know. I really didn't know what to think because I was a little bit taken back. I would just like, you know, for me, I personally, I wouldn't put a sign like that on my vehicles or my models. I would be a little more considerate, I think, but to each his own. You know, I don't personally, I don't want to be a, I'm not, you know, ultra conservative or anything, but I wouldn't put that in my battle reports. Like, I wouldn't show his army. I wouldn't play a game against him for a battle report. Not with that army. Because I don't mean to judge or anything, but I just don't feel you know, I felt it would be unnecessarily offensive to some people. And, yeah. So I'm curious, what do you guys think about that? Leave a comment in the comment section down below. You know, would it matter for a battle report? I just personally, I don't know. I'm uneasy with that kind of symbolism in my battle reports, to be honest. And he was telling me that apparently, like, every one of his armies has something kind of offensive on them. I was like, oh, okay. That's interesting. And in my head, I'm like, why would you do that? I don't know. I've actually been to tournaments in the past where those kind of things would not be allowed. Like, several tournaments I played in the past, if someone found offense in your army, you'd be in trouble, which is fair. You know, it's a fun game, played for fun. You know, it shouldn't be, you know, and there's a difference between walking on eggshells, which I'm not really for these days, but, you know, that's kind of a symbol of hate. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm curious. What do you guys think? You know, leave a comment in the comment section. Does it matter to you? Maybe I'm being overly sensitive? You know? I don't know. To me, it seems something weird. You know? Oh, and people, I gotta start by apologizing as well. There was no Q&J. After I said I'm going to do a Q&J for sure last week, there was no Q&J. The reason being was Mandy got sick again. She's getting better still. She is. Just last Friday, when I was actually getting ready to do the Q&J, like I was setting up and everything, Mandy started acting the same as she did before we took her to the emergency room, the vet. And she wasn't holding down food. She wouldn't eat. And so of course we took her to the vet. You know, I didn't think twice, and we were at the vet for a long time because those tests take a long time to take. And the general consensus was, yeah, her kidney levels were still quite high, but they were better than they were. They were better than they were when we brought her in the first time. So, and then Saturday I was busy, Sunday I was busy, so I just decided, I'm like, Monday, you know, I gotta start working on the current week stuff, so I decided I'm gonna delay my Q&J another week, and unfortunately, it's a good series. I really like Q&Js, and so it will definitely come, I'm gonna make sure, unless the same thing happens tomorrow, which I doubt it would, I'm gonna make sure that it happens tomorrow. I'll probably even film it tonight. That way it'll get it done, out of the way, and I can edit it and put it up tomorrow. That way it's back. You know, I really like the series. It's one of my favorite series to do. I like this series too. I like most of my series. Actually, all my series. I like my series. You know, there's no series I hate doing. I wouldn't do it if I hated it, to be honest. But I have to prioritize filming because I don't have all the time in the world. You know, my other job keeps me busy. Yeah. Also, my house has been quite cold this week because our furnace. We started needing the furnace last week. We do have a fireplace, and it warms up most of the bottom part of the house. But we changed. You know, we turned on our furnace, and it didn't produce. It produces air, but it doesn't produce hot air. So you know what? I'm not completely incompetent when it comes to things like that. You know, in my old house, the same thing happened. So I know how to relight the pilot. The first sign is that the pilot light went out, and because it is producing air, it's just not warm air, right? It's producing cold air even when it's on heat. So I know how to light the pilot light. I know how to do those kind of things. And so I went downstairs, and I really haven't taken a look since we moved in here at the furnace. And it's a different furnace than I'm used to. It's a new, weird, like different type furnace, which doesn't have a pilot light. It has like a sparker of some sort. It's like an electric sparker. And when it goes out, if it malfunctions, there's no way of like lighting it after after that. You need to replace it. And of course, I don't own my house. I'm a renter. So I talked to my landlord, and so we got a guy in today. It actually took a few days to happen because obviously people are busy, and this is the time of year where people's, are all getting up from their heaters. But so the house has been dropping, and the best part about this is my thing is my thing is not in metric; it's in imperial. So my house was dropping down to 55 at night, which is pretty cold. It's not room temperature. Room temperature is about 70, 72, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, American people. And so 72, but 55 is about... No, sorry, it wasn't 55. It was dropping down to 50. We had to warm it back up to 55. So it was dropping down to 50 at night. And freezing is 32. Right? That's equivalent to 0 degrees Celsius. And 50 is approximately, what was it? 50 was about 9 or 10 degrees Celsius. So my house was dropping to about 10 degrees at night, and it was getting cold. So we, it was getting a little cold. Yeah. Just, summarize, cold. So of course we now got that fixed, and it's good. We're now, well, the guy's here right now. It's going to cost a lot of money to fix, but luckily, renting. Landlord split the bill, because you gotta keep your tenants warm. Canadian winter, it's going to start soon. It's October, and many years, like when I was a kid, we used to see the first major snowfall around the last week of October. So it's, it's coming. It's definitely coming right now. And, ooh, look at that. What I got done. So it's a good thing to get taken care of now. So I'm happy that, plus my wife, she doesn't like being frozen. I just keep telling her, let it go, let it go. Sorry, I had to make that joke. And, so that's good. So as I said, Mandy's okay. She's fighting this, whatever she's got. She's still alive, still fighting it, and that keeps me happy. I definitely got to film a Q, and ask Mandy sometime, because I want to get as many in as I can, because she has so much sassitude. I want to get her in as many videos as I can. What else? Yeah, I finished painting those grots. They're fun. I want to get more grots. I like grots. They are cool things. I like them. They're not expensive. They're 3 points a model, so you can get a lot of grots in a list. And right now I'm thinking, I know like Horde Boys is, it's hard to determine actually. I've been thinking about this, but it's really hard to think about. I was thinking about it today. What would be the most competitive list I can come up with orcs? And it's hard because I think I probably have 3 Dakajets. You gotta have tons of Dakajets. Not bikers are still, as long as you can get them to where you need them to go, they're still pretty competitive. You just got to get them there, and hopefully they survive, because they're such a big glass hammer. Sorry, I'm just washing my brush. They do not survive in close combat. They kill whatever they want to kill, good. Because if their opponent hits them back, loss of cyborg. To me, the biggest nerf in the codex is cyborg buddies, because now orcs have no access to invols in close combat, and that is so dangerous, because almost anything that's close combat oriented can get through armor 4 up. So I'm thinking about that. Maybe the competitive lists don't involve boys at all, is what I'm thinking, because if you don't have boys, you can't fear your boys running off the table. You bring, squads of grots, either min, or like maybe even squads of 30 would work. Then not many points, right? A squad of 30 grots is only 100 points with an upgraded like grab a stick or on your run herder. And yeah, it would be nothing. I think it's focused on the wrong thing. Let me see here. Yeah, it's out of focus. I'm sorry. There we go. Time to get some more paint in my palette. So I don't know. I'm thinking really heavily about the competitive orc lists. Ludas are still going to be pretty competitive. Hoarding Ludas. My Canwall is actually not... Against certain lists, it actually can be quite competitive. Against other lists, no, it isn't. No. I still get flack every now and then about that Dark Eldar battle report against Scary, about how my list was just not set up well. But I don't care. I wanted to play that list anyway. And I had a great time playing him. You know, he's a really good guy. And I'm glad we played the game. But... yeah. So it's been a busy week, and I'm not, you know, I'm just, this week I've kind of lost track of my videos, but every kind of resets every week. Certain weeks are easier than others, and I just work my butt off, you know. I don't think there is anybody in our niche that puts out more videos per person than I do. Maybe I'm wrong. It's really, I don't mean to brag, but it's true, you know, like Mini Wargaming, they put out probably about the same number of videos a week that I do, maybe even slightly more, but they also have an entire team of producers, right? They have Ash, they have Steve, they have, you know, Dave and Matt, and I don't have Dave, Matt, and Steve, and Ash, and I just have me. And I work my butt off to make sure that there's videos for you guys. I really do, and I love doing it. And that's my goal, just to do this for the rest of my, yeah, probably, well, I'm not thinking that long ahead, the rest of my life. But I want to do this for a job. That's why I take it so seriously. So, the goal is just to keep getting more subscribers, having a great time doing it, making more content that I love and that people love. And that's the way of the J. You know? And then there's the Warp, which I also put out videos in, right? You know, one person, and I put out the most videos I've ever put out in a week. Well, it was during a normal week. Let's take a normal week without any multi-part reviews of codices and stuff, because that kind of sways your numbers, right? Most videos I put out in a week is 14, which was about a month ago. 14 videos in a week between my two channels. And so I work hard. I'm not saying anybody else doesn't, but when you're little, you have to work harder than when you're big. Because when you're a big team, you can, you know, do other things. Dave and Matt don't have to make videos every day because they have a couple other people do. And they can get really ahead in battle reports. I can't. So I'll try that one day. Maybe one day I'll be able to get really ahead in my work. It's kind of the goal. I am really ahead in miniature painting 101s for free because in the Warp has been an awesome catalyst for miniature painting 101. Because every week in the Warp I put out 2 videos. And then for free I put out 1 video. So I started off with a 3-month preview. But every week I put out an extra week's worth of videos because I do 2 weeks every week for the Warp. So right now I'm actually almost 7 months ahead in the Warp content. So maybe next month, or we'll see, maybe the month after that, I'm going to do like a whole week where a week of Miniature Painting 101 episodes get released in an episode every day for a week. Because that way it'll catch up a little bit. There won't be such a crazy lag. And, yeah. We'll see. That would be a good idea. These knobs are cool. Can't wait to have a knob squad. I don't actually have a knob squad in my army. So it's going to be really cool to have one. And I'm thinking like a squad of 5 of them, plus a war boss, in a Morkanut. Might be a fun way to go. That would be kind of cool. Because The only thing is Morkanite is not an assault vehicle, so you got to keep them alive that one turn that they get out of the Morkanite. So, yeah, life's good. You know, again, no complaints. I just work hard, day in, day out. My biggest goal right now is trying to get battle report opponents. That is my goal, because battle reports tend to get the most views on my channel. I love playing with people as well. You know, that's the best part. I love to get to play with people and have a great time, building with battle report. My goal right now is find opponents. That is probably my number one goal, because people really want to see, and not that there's anything really wrong with the J versus J's, because you learn, but it's not as fun for viewers. Usually, like, viewers like different armies, and J versus J's tend to get repetitive because I only have access to 5, armies worth, or 4 armies plus a supplement worth of armies. I've been running a bunch of Gazgothraka armies lately, as opposed to the normal orcs. But yeah, and this painting challenge has been awesomely helpful, because now I have like an entire green horde that's painted. You know, I used to have all the bodies, but they weren't really painted, but now they are, and that is really cool. So now, whenever I play my green horde list in future videos, you're going to see an army of painted models. So that's cool. What else? I got some awesome terrain this week. If you haven't seen the video, go check it out by Greenleaf. I recently got Greenleaf to make some terrain for me, because my terrain was also really lacking in my battle reports. You know, I'm working hard, but I paint models, and you can't really paint you have limited time to paint every day. So I have to paint models, or I can paint terrain, and I've been doing my painting challenge. Maybe I'll do like a 1-week painting challenge where all I do is terrain. I get my, Administratum building painted up, and that'd be kind of cool. But, sorry, back to the terrain. So Greenleaf made me some just awesome terrain. I love it. And people were saying maybe I was too enthusiastic, but no, I was genuine. That was completely genuine. I wasn't just trying to upsell it. I really love the terrain he sent me. You know, I really do. It is awesome, and I recommend, if you need some terrain done, go to greenleafterrain.com, because he is such an awesome guy, and he produces just great looking terrain. It's what he does. You know, he's a terrain guy, and he does it really, really well. And Greenleaf has such a professional attitude, I'd say. You know, a lot of the people in our niche, I'm not saying they're unprofessional or anything, but he takes himself so professionally as an artist, and it's really cool. It is really nice, because he is a very, he takes his job seriously, and you can see the effort that he puts into everything he does. You know, he wants, again, it's like me with my videos. He takes it very seriously. I'm not saying that he's the only one that takes it seriously, obviously. There's some great other companies out there that also take their job seriously. But I'm really enjoying the professional attitude that he does. Oop, he fell over. When this Knob squad's done, it's going to be really good, because Knobs are going to be cool. I have Knob Bikers. I have a couple squads of Knob Bikers, but they're a little different than Knobs, right? You can put Knobs in battle wagons. I gotta get a battle wagon one day. That's one thing. There's so many orc things I want to get. There's so many things of so many armies I want to get. Really, I'm not even close to being done any of my armies. You know, Tyranids, I want to get a couple more, maybe Venom Thropes. Yeah, I think Tyranids are the closest one I have to finished for models that I have. I have them, I just got to paint them, right? Another painting challenge. But for Tyranids, I want to get some of the Forge World models, like the Hierophant. Herodrul, Herodin, that new guy, what was this called? What is he called? I don't remember his name. The new guy, who's really cool. Dimerican. Dimericaron, I think his name is. Something like that. The new guy. He's really cool. So maybe I'll get him one day. For orcs, there's so many things I want to get as well. Orcs, just normal guys. I want to get some Storm Boys eventually. Battle Wagon. Some Daka Jets. And then for like Forge World stuff, there's so many awesome Forge World models for orcs. The Garrote tanks are probably my favorite. And then the Squiggiths are amazing too. The Mega Dread, that would go well with my list as a Mega Dread because I am a Dread person. So Mega Dreads would be awesome. They're like a better version of a Dread because they have an invol and everything. So Garrote tanks are probably by far my favorite. I want a whole army of Garrote tanks. Maybe that would be fun with Garrotes, you know, like 270 Garrotes, and then just cans and Garrote tanks. The only non-Garrote will be the HQ, because there's no Garrote HQs. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I've decided, since this month was such a success, you know, it really did get me off my butt for painting. This show has been quasi-successful, the Painting with Jay. People really like it. So I've decided, of course, I got to keep doing the show, and I got to keep doing painting challenges to keep myself going. Eventually I will burn out, so maybe I'll take a month off every now and then, because you can only paint so much before just one day you're like, oh, you know. So, but, so I've decided, yeah, next month is going to be Necronvember, because I have enough points, and I think a month time will be enough to get easily an army for battle reports off the table. Now I know I could do Space Marines or Space Wolves. I have them as well in the garage or my studio, but based on the amount of time I have, I think that it would be the most logical, because it would give me the greatest chances of being able to get an army at least 1,500 points painted and to my normal standard in a month. So then I can have another studio army. And it'll be awesome because I'm guessing Necrons are up soon for a Codex update. So it's going to be great, you know. I'm going to play some battle reports with the old orcs and old Necrons, and it gives a new feel. Right? I already have I have a couple Imperial armies. I have 2 Imperial armies right now. I don't necessarily, you know, another Xenos would add a little bit more, I wouldn't say balance, but I'd say, you know, funness, some new, a new feel to my battle reports, because they, you know, they're a different army. They bring something really new. They're not just a different Imperial army. They're a Xenos army. Actually, the funny thing is they're a Xenos army that actually acts very much like an Imperial army. Because if you run like Immortals have 3, most of their stat lines are the same other than their slower initiative. They're initiative 2. And somebody pointed out, by the way, thank you very much for pointing out, Garrotes are toughness 2. I said they were toughness 3, I think, last video, but they're toughness 2. That is correct. They're really squishy. So no point giving them feel nobody. But they are hilarious. And the thing is, they don't actually die that much easy. Seriously, you know. Everything in the orcs have a t-shirt save. So 30 Garrotes. And the thing about 30 Garrotes is you can help with their, like, I think it's one of the squigs, one of the upgrades helps you pass the leadership test. Doesn't guarantee you pass anymore. But it helps you pass, and then you also don't have 30 boys running off, you know, because with 30 boys, if you take 30 boys and you fail your first test, if you're Goskal Thraka, there's a very good chance you're just going to, you know, do D6 plus 3 wounds to yourself. So you go from a squad of like 30, So to force a leadership check, you got to lose 7 or 8. Sorry, 8. So you go down to 22, and then you lose another like 5 or 6. So then you're in teens, and it's just, it really hurts. It really hurts. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really hoping that, I think Blood Angels are the next one for sure. But it's only, you know, a handful of armies. It could either be maybe a good Sisters of Battle update. I doubt it, but maybe. Or it's going to be Blood Angels and Necrons. So, here's hoping Necrons would be cool too, but they just did, you know, Xenos. But they did do 2 Imperials back to back, so you never know. We'll see. And obviously, regardless of whatever codex it is, I'll do a review on it. Give my opinion, the stats, talk about it in depth. Yeah, either way, as I said, success or failure, this month, to me, is a success. I should have probably painted his gloves. Because I have not painted this many models in a month since I was a commissioned painter, and it wasn't for me, it was for, you know, commission. Being able to paint this many models for myself and get them back on the table, painted and looking nice, and there's a couple new squads. You know, I know most of them were boys, and boys don't add anything really new, other than there will now be a painted Orc Horde. You know, Green Tide will be painted. But, there's the Knob squad, there's the Grot squad, and I'm going to try it next week. My goal is 3 cans. So 3 more cans would be great, because I can run a squad of 12 cans. But anyway, and a bunch of boys. So in the end, I'm going to probably paint about 70 models this painting challenge, and that's 70 less models than I had last month painted, you know, or sorry, not unpainted. So, you know, 70 models that I don't need to paint again, and that feels great. If I keep doing this painting challenge over the next year or so, I'll be done eventually. You know, probably never run out of models. That's probably, you know, that's probably a false thing to say. I'll never run out of models, probably. You know, I'll probably pick up some more new ones. What other armies am I really interested in the future? Imperial Knights. Definitely Imperial Knights. Eventually I would like to do an Imperial Knight army. That'd be kind of cool. Not just like getting one Imperial Knight, getting an Imperial Knight army. And maybe a couple different ones. Because I know when the Codex came out, people were a little bit disappointed. Because it was such a cool idea. You know, an army of just giant heavy walkers. But then the Codex came out and there was only like 2 choices. But then, Forge World, of course, being awesome, just, you know, released a bunch of 1 out of 1. Like, seems like every other week they release a new Imperial Knight. You know, there's now like 4 or 5, I think 4. Let's see, there's the Lancer, the Castigator, what's the other one called? The green one looks really cool. Green one's probably my favorite one, just by looks. I forgot what that was called. And then there's like the Megara, I think it's called. Megara. Which is, it's just kind of it's the same size as the other one. The first 3 that I mentioned, the Cerastus Knights, are all larger. They're significantly taller. You know, they're like the body portions of almost like an Imperial Knight meets a Wraith Knight, because they have a lot of leg. And then the Megara is off the same body platform as the normal kit. And then they also released an upgrade kit. Just it changes out the pads and stuff. And it's the Terran House, I think. So it's cool. So now if you want to run an Imperial Knight army. Oh, and somebody asked this in one of my previous videos. I just use sticky tack. I'm using poster tack as my tack. Today it's just not as sticky. Last week it was working really well. But it tends to work well, and I use it for my painting tutorials if I'm filming like this, and for this video. So it's just normal poster tack, sticky tack. So that'd be cool. So if you want, you know, it gives you a bunch of options, and but they're really expensive, obviously, because they're Forge World. But still, it'd be cool to have one in an army. And they can also be taken as, like, all the Forge World ones. I think the other one as well. I think they can be taken as a Lord of War for any Imperial army. So, cool stuff there. These orcs are coming along. That would be cool. So yeah, there's still a few armies I want to collect. I actually put down an offer. Now the guy didn't take it, but I put an offer the other day on a Kijiji army, Sisters of Battle, because I figured there's not a lot of people doing really good battle reports for Sisters of Battle, and it'd be cool to give them some love because they are an army that is in desperate need of love. They don't get much love. You know, their models are arguably the worst of all the factions because I'm not a big fan of the metal models, to be honest. I don't like them as much as the plastic. GW's plastic kits are hands down better than their plastic, or than their metal models. So, you know, and they got the it was a White Dwarf update, and I really hope they get some love one day. I know there's definitely some viewers out there that would agree with me on that. Yeah, I would eventually like to have studio armies of a bunch of different armies because then I can just have some variety. You know, it'd be nice. Some nice variety in my battle reports. And also, it would just, I could do Tactica. Eventually, I am planning on doing Tactica in the future. I just don't have time. I really should. But, I'm just one man. You know? So, as I was saying, so next month is going to be Necronvember. And I do know a lot of people have been really wanting me to focus on some Warma hordes. So December is probably going to just focus on Warma hordes for painting. I'm going to give the viewers an option. Should I build like 35 points of Signar? Or should I put together 35 points of a hordes faction? You know? I have painted some hordes models. Actually quite recently for the war, like I painted Borka 2, so he's a pretty fun caster for Troll Bloods. He's on a polar bear, so instantly he had my love. And last week, or no, 2 weeks ago, I painted a Moloch Karn for a tutorial. So that's the great thing about tutorials is people still, you know, depending on what they are, but I've been using tutorials to get other models painted. Last week alone, I painted up a Dreadnought for Grey Knights. So even though this month is focusing on orcs, I was still able to get, you know, one model painted for the Grey Knights. And he'll be in future battle reports too. You know, twin-linked autocannon Dreadnought. Those arms I was actually able to get the Forge World arms for. I bought them at, I ordered them through Gen Con. They just took a little while to come, a couple weeks. He's looking pretty good. Halloween's coming up. I'd really like to see some like 40K based costumes. I don't really see them very often. I should do a Q&J in costume. That would be kind of funny. Look at him. He's, look at him. He's pretty much, he's on his way to being done. Good job. There's a lot of metallic paint on him. These videos are just awesome. I love these paint with J's. I really do. I probably do love them. I think I like these more than Q&J because just the amount. I don't know. Q&J I really love as well. I like both of them. It's hard to determine. Choose between your kids. But you know, this video, I feel like at the end, I'm like, oh my goodness, I just painted up this many models. You know, it just is awesome because I sit down and I just paint and talk to you guys, and you guys get to know a little bit more about me, but we paint together and we accomplish goals together. I feel like after the hour that I'm done filming this video that, hey, you know, I got an hour's worth of painting done and I did a great job, you know, it's all good. Versus Q&J, which Q&J is great because Q&J, it's one of the few videos that I really get to you know, interact a lot with the viewers because I get a lot of comments in a week. I really do, and I feel guilty sometimes that I can't address them all. But you basically, when you get to a point, I don't want to sound arrogant, when you get to a point of popularity and you get too many comments, you essentially gotta either try to answer them all or come up with a video series that answers them, because I do try to answer some questions in the comment section, I really do. But Q&J was usually where I got to, you know, actually develop a relationship with the viewers. It's kind of like a live show, but isn't. But, you know, that way I can actually answer your questions. And I do love that. I really do love that aspect. It's one of my favorite shows to film. You know, it's not a show that I make a lot of money off of. It's a show that I just love doing. And that's the reason. Which is good too. But it takes, once again, about an hour. Sometimes higher than an hour because the amount of comments. And they're both relatively easy to edit. So this one is only going to be a couple clips. Q&Js are usually only, like Q&Js can be one straight, but what my camera does is it breaks up. Every 15 minutes ends up being one clip. And you just put them all together, render, good to go. So, but as I said, I really love them, and I'm glad it'll be back. I promise it'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to make sure that it happens. I've been feeling guilty. Like, it's one of the shows that I just feel guilty if I don't make one. Yeah. What else? Yeah, the year's just flying by. You know, it's been a really awesome year. It really has. I can't believe it's already October. It's crazy. I'm really excited to see what 2015 has in store. Maybe it's a little too early to talk about. We still have, you know, a couple months left of the year, but it's gonna fly by. You know, this painting challenge has flown by, seriously, and I think it's gonna keep flying by. As long as I do challenges, you know, I'm filling my time, and time flies when you're having fun. So. I like this. I just ramble. Ramble, and then you guys are painting with me, and that's cool. You know, I'm glad, and I'm hoping that you guys are all, and girls obviously, but I say guys. By the way, for future reference, when I say guys, I hope no one ever takes offense that I say the word guys. I don't actually mean only men. I say dudes or guys. You know, I'm not trying to be sexist or anything. Yeah. You know, I do know I have women viewers, and I appreciate every viewer, regardless of gender. And yeah, so. I played a new game the other day. It was kind of fun. It was a card game called Coup. And those who haven't played it, go play Coup. It's really fun if you have the option. It's not a very expensive game to buy. I bought it, like, I'm gonna buy it from a store. I'm thinking I'm gonna buy it, but it's not that expensive, like $10. But it's essentially like that old game of Bull or Cheat, depending on what you called it. Where you play cards and you try to represent. You can try to represent in this game that you have different people, and you have 2 cards in front of you face down, and you know there's like 5 or 6 different types of people out there. There's like an assassin who kills people easily, a pirate captain, a couple others. You know, one's a dude who makes you money quicker, and you try to represent guys to either make money or kill your fellow players. And they can deny your kills with other players and other names, but you don't know what they actually have. And you can call cheat at any point. But if you call cheat and they're cheating, one of their cards, which this is, each person gets 2 cards, dies. They choose. Will just die. So you've killed one of their people. But if you call cheat and they aren't cheating, and they are actually saying the card that's in their hand, you lose a guy. Your guy dies. And it's a lot of fun because it's a quick paced game. You play with friends, and you obviously try to read your friends. The more you know your friends, the more fun you'll have. And it's just fun. It was a lot of fun. I played a couple rounds of it, and it was just a bit more of a tactical, grown-up version of Cheat or BS or whatever you call it. So that's a cool game. I should probably call it soon. We're at 45 minutes. Yeah, I'll probably call it here. I should probably call it. So, yeah. So, I'm going to call it here. It's been 45 minutes, and I've had a good time just rambling and talking to you people. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you painted along, got some stuff done. In the end, I got, my knobs. I got a good amount of work done on the knobs. I got the leather pieces done, and I got the metal on 3 of them done. So, that's about, a good amount of work. I'll keep going on them, and hopefully they'll be done for next week. So that's good. And my painting challenge is just moving along, and it's gonna, a week and a day left, and then I'm done. And I'll do a showcase of all my army after that. So thank you so much for watching this video. Leave a comment in the comment section down below if there's anything you want me to talk about in future videos. If you have anything to add to what I was talking about today. I know a lot of it's just odd ramblings and stuff, but that's what I just do when I turn on my brain. I just ramble on and on and on. And yeah, and stay tuned. I'll be definitely do a Q&J, I promise. There's going to be a Q&J tomorrow. And what else? Yeah, leave comments about any questions I asked, Till next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting, because I am having fun painting, so happy painting.